Follow, like, subscribe. We're back, baby. Let's go.
We're selling out.
Disconnect between the head coach and the GM.
Because
and
nobody
when you
sees
have
Howie's vision.
No, Howie's a freaking moron. And there's a reason why.
Howie,
Jeffrey,
you got a moron.
Are you ever gonna let me freaking talk? God damn, bro.
Happy Friday and welcome to another episode of Birds, Beards, and BS here on the AAT Sports Network. We are your hosts, Eagle Jeff Warner, alongside Peanut in the house.
In the house.
We are back after a little hiatus.
Yeah.
Still getting over that disappointing Super Bowl loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. But we'll give you our thoughts and dive into that a little bit. I know it's been a couple weeks, but I want to get Peanut's takes on that game. Also,
Sorry.
what, you dying over here?
Choking on my tears. Go ahead.
Of course. Also, we'll dive into a little bit about the Eagles' offseason, what they have to do to improve this team, get Peanut's take on maybe a couple players that he thinks they should or should not bring back.
Okay.
Also, big UFC fight this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is usually a football show or an Eagles show, but look, huge UFC fight this week as John Jones returns to face Gagne in UFC 285, I believe.
I don't know. What does it say there, Jeffrey?
No freaking clue. 285. Either way, look, big fight this weekend. We'll give you our little thoughts on maybe who you should bet, who maybe you shouldn't bet, because whoever you can tell us who Laura's going to bet, because whatever she picks is usually the opposite.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
We'll give you a little take on some UFC action later on. But look,
sweet.
Let's thank our sponsors real quick. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. They are available for takeout or delivery at 610-395-2300 or vinnyspizzapa.com. Check out their daily, weekly, and game day specials on their website, or give them a call again, 610-395-2300. Like to thank our friends at Stuff to the Grills in Allentown off Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. Order by calling 484-274-6760 or visit stufftothegrills.com for their full menu and specials. Again, Stuff to the Grills in Allentown. I'd like to thank our friends at Homage, homage.com. You can check them out. A lot of great designs. They just actually released today. I know you're a huge Ninja Turtle fan, but they have NBA Ninja Turtle tees.
I've seen that.
So I'll say, look, a lot of great designs. Make sure you're using the referral code in the description of the episode for you to use that link. It helps AAT Birds. It helps AAT Sports Network. Helps us. Yeah. So, again, make sure to check out homage.com.
I'm definitely going to get that Ninja Turtle shirt, though, no doubt.
Say it is great, though.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, if you want to get involved, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing, and hitting the comment section. Give us your thoughts on anything you want to discuss or anything that we're discussing. If you want to give us your comments, where the hell's the freaking thing?
It's been a while, folks. Come on.
There you go. I'll say Laura's chiming in. Salty Super Bowl. Absolutely not, asshole. It's Peanut's picks that are bad, so she's calling you out.
Oh, shit.
And
I didn't see that part.
I don't know what else she's talking about. But, yeah, look, let's dive into it. Look, disappointing loss for the Philadelphia Eagles to end the season. They end up in the Super Bowl, but end up losing to the Kansas City Chiefs 38-35.
Yeah.
Especially after having a 10-point lead at halftime. They are one of two teams in NFL history to have a double-digit lead at halftime and let it squander away. The other team, can you name it?
No. Well, hold on. Wait.
You should get this.
I might know this.
We witnessed this Super Bowl.
Was it the Atlanta Falcons versus the
Patriots? They had the astronomical lead. And
that was the worst. Yeah,
Kyle Shanahan let it shit away. But
yeah. He got all mad at me. You witnessed this.
But look, there's not much. It sucks that they lost, but there's not much you can really blame what happened in that game on the offense. Jalen Hurts looking pretty impressive.
Yeah.
27-38, 304 yards and a touchdown. He also had 3 touchdowns rushing with 70 yards on the ground. Devontae Smith over 100, with 100 yards receiving.
Yeah. Look, man, the offense was not to blame.
Offensively, they did enough to win.
They put 35 points on the board. The defense let us down, and not just the defense, but I mean, I guess it's subject for debate. But the defensive coordinator, man, where were you, Gannon? He was probably already in Arizona. He's sitting there at halftime.
Well, he was in Arizona.
It was in Arizona. What I mean is already in Arizona. Like, I'm gonna be here anyway. So I think Gannon really let these players down. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you've seen it, but CJGJ responded to a tweet, and he basically put it on the line and said, because we lost because you didn't put us in a position to make plays.
Which, look, the defense is a double-edged sword. The defense, we want to give them all the praise when they're success. It's the players. Yeah. But when they're bad, it's the coach's fault, which I don't always see being the case. Look, this was the defense. They were a major letdown in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were.
But this was also a defense that still had NFL third most in NFL history in sacks. Right. CJGJ had his best season as a pro under Jonathan Gannon. He led the tie for the league in interceptions. Yeah. And the defense showed glimpses. The problem was, look, we talked about in the pregame show before the game that the Eagles had to find a way to stop Patrick Mahomes and Eric Bieniemy's offensive scheme.
Right.
And they just couldn't do it. There's a difference between good coaches and great coaches.
Right.
And Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid showed why they are great head coaches. Yep. The way they were down 10 points at halftime and were able to adjust. I know, I can't believe I'm absolutely saying this about Andy Reid.
Adjusted.
Second half adjustments in this game, in the biggest game of the season. And you saw, look, and everyone wants to say that Jonathan Gannon, that he just sits back and he doesn't want to fix anything or doesn't try to do anything different. There have been plenty of times in those red zone defensive schemes where he brought blitz packages that ended up for touchdowns. It's because Patrick Mahomes is so good at the game. He reads defenses very well, and he knows the play of the call, and knows how to get rid of the ball quickly. Patrick Mahomes was our own worst enemy with his ability to get rid of the ball quickly. There's no matter how well you're playing defense. Yeah. It's not going to matter.
Look, Patrick, you said it. Patrick Mahomes, man, you got to tip your hat to the guy. I mean, he didn't throw for over 200 yards, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think he was held under 200 yards,
183 yards, or 182 yards for 3 touchdowns.
On paper, like, that sounds like they did okay. It's just third down efficiency, not adjusting on the defensive side of the ball. The fumble didn't help us either. I mean, let's face it.
Well,
that didn't help us.
I'll say Adam chime in. Gannon relied on the front four, but no blitzes or pressure on Mahomes. And
shout out to Adam.
I a little bit disagree with that, though. Look, there was moments where they did bring different blitz packages,
right?
Because look, Mahomes had to scramble a little bit, and he ran I think 5 or 6 times in the game.
Yeah, he did.
Which I'll say they don't usually do a lot of design runs with Patrick Mahomes, so they obviously got pressure. They just lost containment on Patrick Mahomes that allowed him to break free and get yardage on some of those plays.
They took advantage of our aggressiveness.
Well, it wasn't just aggressive. And I'm not putting this on why they lost, because look, you brought up a good point. They had the big turnover that led to a touchdown.
Huge.
The big punt returner, which I felt was the huge game changer in this game.
Agreed.
That I'll say it shifted all momentum in the Kansas City Chiefs' favor with that punt return and the short field.
Yeah.
But there's not much Jonathan Gannon could do when your players are constantly slipping. This team relied on the front four. I agree to that part. Throughout the entire season. If you can't get pressure with your front four because they're slipping, you have to find different ways, which you can't play man-to-man on that type of surface.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough field. I guess they credited that to overwatering, or who knows, man.
Look, it's not the reason we lost. I know fans think it's a damn conspiracy theory, especially since apparently the groundskeeper was a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Look, I'm not conspiracy theorist.
Kansas City had to play defense on the same field too.
Exactly. Well, he could give him the tip ahead of time.
Saying, hey, get some long cleats on.
Get the bigger cleats. But
get some long. Yeah, I heard the refs are going to be throwing some bogus calls too.
It has to come down to execution, and I
Yeah.
felt and we still scored 35 points on this field.
Yeah.
We still had a double-digit lead at halftime.
Yeah,
there's no excuse.
No excuse. Look, we lost. You win some, you lose some. We lost. They were the better team. I'm not going to sit here and give any excuses. Shout out to all my Dallas and Giant fans that sat at home and watched us lose and felt like they got the win. Congratulations to you 49er fans that, basically gave me – I got nothing, but that's why I was in hiatus for a whole week because I personally don't go online and talk shit. But boy, oh boy, were my messages coming in hard and fierce about us losing.
Look, it sucks.
It is what
and
it is.
It's going to be extremely difficult to get back to that point because look, we have a very difficult and challenging offseason ahead of us. I think we're losing possibly.
Good segue.
Exactly. This is why I'm a pro. This is look. I think potentially losing 17, 18 players that they're gonna have to figure out what to do with and how to replace.
It's a lot.
Some of the bigger names, CJ, which
he's gonna get tagged.
Reports that the Eagles are gonna try everything possible to give him a long-term deal. If worse comes to worse, they'll give him the extension or the franchise tag, which I believe is 13 or 14 million for a safety. Yeah. James Bradbury, unfortunately, I feel he's on his way out. Yeah, you have Kaiser White, TJ Edwards, Brandon Graham, possibly Jason Kelsey, depending on what he does if he retires. So I already gave somewhat the players I feel they should bring back on the weekly report a couple weeks ago. So Peanut, I want to get your thoughts on who you think who do you want to see back? Who do you not see coming back? Give us your thoughts on the Eagles' offensive the game plan heading into the offseason free agency.
I'm going to Uno reverse it because you brought up TJ Edwards and Kaiser White. Say you could only bring one of those two back. Would it be Kaiser White or would it be TJ Edwards?
I'd rather have TJ. But TJ I feel is going to command too much money.
Yeah, that's true. So I agree with you on that one. Who do we bring back? I mean, you got to keep the safety. You got to keep CJ, like by all means necessary. This team has been without a solid safety like that guy in a long time. Yeah. Bradbury, I would let him walk. I mean, he's a solid player.
Well, in some people's eyes, he was better than Darius Slay this past year.
You could say that. He was probably targeted more times. You know what I mean? So he has more of a resume. But Slay's on the team, so we don't have to worry about that. I would say, like, if on the defensive side of the ball, you want to keep CJ, Kaiser White, I honestly you're right. I think Edwards is going to command too much money at this point, so you keep White. I like the way this team kind of is starting to stack players, like younger generations underneath these players. So defensive line speaking, sorry, that was brought to you by Heineken. You owe me money, Heineken. It's tough to say because this defense is going to look completely different next year. It's not going to be the same kind of defense. Literally, you got a new coordinator. You're going to have new names, new faces. So on the defensive side of the ball, it's imperative to keep the safety. Maybe we go free agency for the new cornerback to accent what Slay does. On the offensive side of the ball, I think is where I'm a little more worried about.
Well, offense and there's really not much to plug.
Well, it's the big thing is running back. Now, do we give Sanders?
You're not giving Sanders the money.
You think Sanders is going to? You think Sanders is going to command that? Yeah, I guess he would. Yeah, he would.
Well, he's not going to He's going to try to.
Yeah,
he's going to try to get paid.
Get it.
He's going to try. Not necessarily.
Not from us, but he'll get it.
Not necessarily. Look, the running back free agent market is potentially to be very, very deep.
Yeah.
You have Barkley.
Right.
You have a couple other big names out there. Look, he might be like second tier as far as running backs getting paid, and there's not going to be a lot of job openings. A lot of teams have their running backs in place. I'm not saying he wouldn't get some offers or get some interest,
right?
But he's not like the premier running back on the market, and I feel the Eagles are going to let him walk. Let him test his free agent market,
and then throw peanuts at him when he comes back.
Yeah, throw him peanuts if he decides to accept it. Because I feel the Eagles feel confident in Kenny Gainwell the way he played down the stretch of the season
and in the Super Bowl
and in the playoffs. The playoffs, he was your more dynamic, he was your more effective, and your more. He gave you more production running back out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Look, Miles Sanders. given the chance, he could be a tremendous talent. Look, you saw it this past year, his first 1,000-yard season, his first double-digit touchdown season, but he's also a guy that has been plagued by injuries through most of his career. The Eagles are in somewhat cap hell, depending what's going to happen with the future. I think they're only at like 14 or 15 million. There's going to be a lot of restructuring, a lot of re-signing, and I feel the Eagles feel that they could plug almost any running back in there and find success. And they sort of proved that with Gainwell, with Boston Scott. And I feel they'll address a running back possibly in the draft, maybe an older veteran, a cheaper veteran. They do still have Trey Sermon on the roster. I don't think he's the answer, but they do have some options at running back, and I feel I feel they think the running game is only as effective as Jalen Hurts runs the offense. And without Jalen Hurts running the offense and without him at quarterback for long term, they're not going to pay a quarterback major money. They have always been an organization and always a franchise that they did not give big contracts to running backs. The only exceptions was DeMarco Murray because Chip demanded it. Brian Westbrook got payday because he was the only weapon that McNabb had after a while.
That one,
and I think Shady might have got a deal shortly after, and then they traded him away.
That was But who on the defensive side of the ball do you think is imperative to making this defense continue to kind of keep moving the way and trending in the right direction?
Well, the Eagles, I feel they have to get fresh face. They have to get fresh meat, fresh bodies in here. Look, this is an aging defense. This was an aging defense that found production, but look, they need some new blood in here. They need some guys especially under a new scheme and a new defensive coordinator. Look, Jonathan Gannon's gone. There's no scapegoat anymore. They were able to sign Sean Desai as their defensive coordinator. He worked under Fangio. So look, he's a guy that I feel can have success with the right players in place.
Right.
And it's going to be an interesting scheme. He's a very versatile defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He was with 3 different defensive regimes in Chicago before getting the DC gig there.
Right.
So look, he's a guy that I feel that is one of the up-and-coming coaches in the NFL. And something about Philadelphia coaches, they keep on getting targeted. So obviously there's something going right with this organization and with the coaches we bring in here. So I'm very confident, and the fact that they were able to promote Brian Johnson, offensive coordinator.
I think that was a brilliant move.
Adam chiming in. Does Minshew come back? I don't think so, Adam.
I think Minshew wants a shot at being a starter.
He wants a chance to be a starter. Look, they'll probably bring another aging veteran. Who knows? Maybe Carson Wentz again. I don't see that happening.
Nah. Listen, that's a good question too with Minshew. Like, I wouldn't mind Minshew staying as the backup quarterback, but I think he's getting older now. I think he wants a shot at being.
Shout out to Johnny. Thanks for chiming in.
Yo, Johnny, what's up, Johnny? I would think Minshew would probably he's gone. He's gone.
Look, the Eagles going into this offseason.
No more mustache shows and shit.
Yeah, well, going into this offseason, they are going to try to find ways to get value. Great value for their investments. So they're not going to go out there. I feel they're going to still be somewhat aggressive.
Right.
Look, you're going to see Howie making trades for players, I think, that possibly could be on their way out for other teams or might be getting cut towards the end of the season. You might see another CJ, GJ type of move to try to rebuild this defense, because the offense, I feel, is ultimately it's set. Besides the running back position and the offensive line a little bit.
Well, I just because you keep calling it a rebuild. I don't think the defense necessarily needs to rebuild. I see what you, the defense
needs a rebuild, because look, they're about to revamp. They're about to lose, I think, 6 or 7 starters on this defensive scheme.
So who are those 6 or 7 starters?
Oops, sorry.
He's getting fresh with me. Bradbury's one.
TJ Edwards,
right?
Kaiser White.
Well, I don't think
Hargrave.
I don't think we lose both. Kaiser.
We might.
I don't think so. I
hope
have faith in Howie.
I hope you're right.
I think we're losing one. I don't think we're losing.
I
both.
hope you're right.
Okay.
But look, this is a team that never has really gone out there and got the big free agent linebacker. They have Nakobe Dean in the wing.
Thank you.
Which is why I think Kaiser's the one that's going to be gone.
Okay. Gotcha.
TJ Edwards, he had a very productive season. He's also the guy on your defense has been the captain and calling the defensive game or plays week in and week out all season long. So I feel those intangibles is why you need to bring back TJ, and you don't want to lose both linebacking core pieces in that linebacking core because you basically just revamp the entire linebacking scheme. But look, yeah, we have Reddick, but Hargrave's probably gone. He's going to be commanding a lot of money.
Yeah.
Also,
Davis. You got Davis.
Fletcher Cox. So you have Davis and you have Milton Williams, who both did not get a lot of playing time this season. So you still have to find out what you see. But it's one of those things with Howie. Yes, he's looking for the future.
Right.
But you also you were just 3 points away from winning the 4 points from winning the Super Bowl. This was a team that's quite possibly the best team Philadelphia
has ever seen.
The Philadelphia Eagles in franchise history has ever had. And they still came up short. And I feel that leaves a very bad and sour taste in Howie Roseman's mouth going into this offseason and going to next season, that I need to find ways to improve this defense. I'm not bringing back the old dead weight that we had on this team. I'm not bringing back the Robert Quinns that we traded a fucking 4th round pick for. And basically it was a waste.
That was a waste.
Hey,
listen,
he's going to go
win some, you lose some.
You are, but he still has to look long-term to that effect where I feel you're going to see a lot more trades. You're going to see a lot more one-year deals. I feel they might make a splash here and there and maybe sign depending who's available.
Well, more players
and what the market's going to be.
Right.
But he knows he has to prove this defense because the offense carried the load all season long.
100% agree with that. But I think, look, there's good players that want to win a championship, and I think Howie's kind of banking on that at this point. And I think, look, when you think of those names, those big name splashes and whatnot, there's more of an enticement to come to Philadelphia now. So I think, look, we've doubted Howie in the past. We've always doubted Howie in the past. And recently, Howie has proven us all wrong, at least this season.
Well, it's taken some time.
It has taken some time.
Which is why this season, this upcoming season
is huge.
It's huge, and you don't know it's not very easy to get back. The last time a team has lost the Super Bowl and got back the following year was in the 70s with the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
And look,
the purple people eaters.
And look, the Eagles are in prime position are in prime position to change history and change that. And I feel Howie knows that, and I'm hoping it goes out there and makes the big splash and makes the moves he needs to. Because look, offensively, you have your quarterback in place. There's no doubt Jalen Hurts is getting paid, and they're going. Everyone's talking about this contract extension, about the amount of money they're going to give him. Yes, I agree.
They're just waiting for Lamar.
Well, no, it's concerning, but it's an extension. Yeah. It's got to be added on to his current rookie deal. So that's why this offseason is so critical, because you still have Jalen Hurts technically under a rookie deal. Right. They're not going to rip it up and give him a whole new deal and then have a cap number at 14, 15 million or whatever it's going to be this year.
Right.
He's going to get his guaranteed money, no doubt.
Right.
But it's going to be pushed down the line in future years, which is why look, when your quarterback gets paid, there's less talent around them. There's a reason why the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers have not been back to the Super Bowl since their loss.
Because they didn't do what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady would take that cut to make sure he could bring Moss in. You know what I'm saying? I think, honestly, it's the management. The management would not get players around. They kept on saying, we have the quarterback. We don't need players around him. We don't need an offensive line. We don't need a defense. Yeah. I do not want Jalen Hurts. I do not want the Philadelphia Eagles to waste Jalen Hurts' potential in his prime on not giving him the talent and not building a team around Jalen Hurts. Because you have the greatest quarterback in history. It doesn't matter if you don't have a team around him. That's Granted, true. Patrick Mahomes sort of changed that a little bit this year. Yeah, but no. You know what?
No, he had a good team, but everyone gave Patrick Mahomes shit
when they lost
Tyreek Hill, and they felt, oh, he's only as good as Tyreek Hill is going to be. He's not going to be the same player. The dude still won the league MVP and Super Bowl MVP.
And it sounds like this. I'm here.
Dude,
I'm here.
He gets paid millions. He has a new car from winning MVP,
and he's going to Disney World apparently.
Disneyland.
That commercial, that thing hurts so bad watching that. Me and my wife were watching the show the other day, and every Hulu commercial. Yeah, I'm good. Every Hulu commercial was him doing that whole I'm going to Disneyland thing. Man, that shit hurts. But look, man, he is probably one of the best quarterbacks we're going to see in a long time.
He's this generation's Tom Brady.
I would say so. And the team around him. Let's stop the whole narrative where he has nobody. Like, come on.
His defense, he has no defense, dude.
He has
Their defense, besides Chris Jones and the rookie corner that they have, they really don't have much on that defensive line. And they gave up.
Defense don't matter if you can outscore them.
Exactly.
Right.
But you still needed to look. We brought up going to that game that it's got to come down to whichever's defense can make a play.
True.
And their defense did. They caused the takeaway. They caused the touchdown return on defense and changed the whole momentum and shifted that game.
That's facts.
The Eagles have never had a turnover in Super Bowl history.
Wow,
in all 4 games they have never had a turnover or takeaway.
Well, we were facing good quarterbacks, you know what I mean? So what are you going to do?
So who are maybe a couple other names? Anyone else you think that they should bring back, or you don't that they think they bring back?
You know what's weird, and I know I'm going to get some flack for this. If Hargrave is gone, you got to bring Cox back. And not for his playability, although he did pretty solid during the end of the season. I think his locker room presence – Jesus Christ,
I disagree, bro.
Bubbling. I know. It's not something that's popular.
Well, because just his attitude around the locker room, his attitude in press conferences. The only reason he came back
attitude. What do you mean?
He has a big fucking ego. The only reason he came back to Philadelphia this year is for the money. It wasn't. Look, if they didn't give him that restructure in that 1-year deal, he's not back in Philadelphia.
So you're saying, wait.
No, I feel Cox is gonna go out there. He feels he's worth more than what he actually is.
Okay,
this is probably his final contract.
Okay,
and he's gonna take the highest paid offer rather than return to Philadelphia. Now, Brandon Graham, on the other hand, I feel he's gonna test the market, see what he can get. But I think he's willing to take either the same offer or maybe a slightly less to stay here in the city of Philadelphia if the Eagles give him the deal.
BG's another one too. You're right.
But because look, BG. Love him to death. He had a double-digit sack season, his most productive season as a pro.
Right.
But look, he's 34, about to be 35. He's a situational pass rusher. Teams are not going to pay a situational pass rusher that's playing 20% of the defensive snaps.
Right.
Starter money, unfortunately.
I agree with you on that.
I feel he realizes that, but he still wants to go out there and see if maybe there's a better opportunity, a better offer, and before he ultimately returns to Philadelphia. He said in a podcast this past week, I think it was with Rodney McLeod, a Indianapolis Colts podcast, that he says he has 2 more years left in him, and he wants
cash out.
He wants to stay with Philadelphia. You know, he told his wife, "Look, 2 more years." His kids will start being a little bit older. He start being the dad, seeing them growing up, making memories, all that type of stuff. He's made enough money in Philadelphia, and I feel he's going to be one of those players that's going to make Philadelphia his home for life.
BG, I would. Would you pay a little extra to keep him here for a little bit? Because that's what you're going to have to do.
I don't know yet. I don't know. You have to pay him a little extra. I feel you have to pay him a little bit more. Thanks, Mike. I feel you have to pay a little bit more than. You probably pay more than a backup. I feel you might have to give him a little bit more, but
you got to give him some thank you money. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what got us in the position a couple of years ago when Hallie was giving you thank you money to Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson during COVID years, because of their past productions or what they were able to do in the past.
I got you. I actually agree with that.
So I'll say. Look, critical offseason, and we'll be definitely checking it out, keeping you updated. So make sure, again, you're following, liking, subscribing. Our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram, our YouTube channel for all the great content, and ATSportsNetwork.com. Yeah. We do have our reporter down at the NFL Scouting Combine,
yes, we do.
Joe Castro. And also we have some great content from our guys from across the pitch, Dave Miller and Mike Barrera. Covering the Philadelphia Union, who are 1-0 on the year, looking to go 2-0 this week as they go on the road to face Miami for all the great coverage and updates on the Philadelphia Union, the NFL, and much more. Look, we have a lot on the horizon. I'm working on possibly some Flyers coverage, some Iron Pigs and Phillies coverage.
That'd be great.
So Penn State possibly. Look, we're up and coming sports network here on the YouTube and on the independent networks scene. So make sure to follow along, help support my PayPal or a Venmo are in the description. Help support the network. So
every dollar counts.
Every
so if you give us 50 cents, Thank you. We will take it. We are selling out. We've been trying to contact the Illuminati. They haven't returned our calls yet. But if anyone could get us like the number to whoever's in charge there, let them know that we've been knocking on the door.
I'll say slow-mo Ewing chime in. Yeah. Oh, yeah. First time with you guys between the burping and the fuck. Fletcher, I'm in.
Word.
Yo, thanks for chiming in, man. Spread the words. Tell your friends. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you coming along. And check out all our great content from the Weekly Report, Across the Pitch, and much more here on AT Sports Network. But before we get out of here, I want to get your initial thoughts, your picks for the big fight this weekend. UFC 285 this weekend. Look, big fight. Between John Jones and Gagne. So, look, main event, John Jones returning. And the rumor is that whoever wins this fight will face Stipe Miocic at UFC 290, coming out of retirement for a fight to face the winner of this weekend's big battle. Pina, who you got?
Man, I gotta go. I gotta go with what I know, and I'm gonna go with John Jones, man. John Jones always been a favorite of mine, although he has some issues and whatnot. The guy is technically sound. I'm going John Jones. I don't think it goes the distance. I'm going someone's getting knocked out, and it ain't John Jones.
Well, Laura, there you go. Do not do decision. Do not do tap or submission. John Jones, knockout. Place your bet now. John Jones is the favorite in this fight.
Knockout.
Minus 175 over Cyril Gagne. Yeah. Also, the big women fight this week. Valentina Shevchenko versus Alexa Grasso. And look, the odds are not even in Grasso's favor right now. Shevchenko is a minus 750. Grasso's a plus 550. I know Laura loves the underdogs. Laura, do not bet the underdog in this one.
Just go with the numbers. Go with the numbers, babe. Go with the.
So I guess you're going Shevchenko as well?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
It should be a huge, big fight. 100%. I'm just hoping, look, the UFC fights, they're hit or miss. Yeah. We always watch them regardless. We always tune in. Yes, but sometimes it's just major disappointment. Like your chick Thug Rose, that one fight.
You know what? That was one time, man. And
washed up, bro.
All right. You know, look, before that, she was killing it. I don't know what the hell happened. It wasn't the same Thug Rose that I know.
But like the old saying goes, there's always someone, you might be good, but there's always someone better. And look, you consistently have the passing the torch in UFC consistently.
Yeah.
You had when
I love UFC.
When Rousey got her butt kicked, I believe first time by Holly Holm.
Yeah, she fucked her up.
Yeah, Thug Rose then passing the torch. And then in the men's division, Conor McGregor was the dude for a while. And then
we seen that coming though.
You did.
We seen that coming.
But look, I'll say I'm just hoping it's a good fight. Ultimately, I feel it's Jones. I feel it's Shevchenko, but I just want some good fight. I don't want no action. I don't want. I don't want dancing. I want punishment. There's a reason why we watch UFC. It's for the blows and the knockouts.
For the blows and the hose.
I just want some action. So hopefully this weekend is a great fight because they've been hyping this up for way too long.
Facts.
So again, thank you for everyone for tuning in for another episode of Birds, Beers, and BS. Look, it's the off season. We're going to try to be consistent here on Birds and BS.
We will.
With the combine, with the draft coming up, with mini camps, with free agency coming up, March 15th is the start of NFL free agency. So look, we'll keep you in the know and keep you updated here on the AT Sports Network. So again, come along for the ride. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing all our social media platforms.
Please.
And thank you again for tuning in for another great episode. Also want to thank our sponsors. So again, without our sponsors, we're nothing. So go out there and help support them, or go out support them by supporting us.
Trust me, it's worth it.
Go out there by supporting us, support them. Yeah. Little dyslexic right there.
That's all right.
Make sure to check out our friends at Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. You can give them a call at 610-395-2300 at vinnyspizzapa.com for their daily and game day specials on the at Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant. Tell them that AT Birds and the AT Sports Network crew sent you on over. I'd like to also thank our friends at Stuff to the Grills in Allentown off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center as well. Call 484-274-6760 or visit stufftothegrills.com for their full menu and specials. They are also available for catering orders.
Yeah.
So look, if you have a company lunch or a graduation party in the near future, check them out and hit them up. Tell them that we sent you on over. And I'd like to thank our friends at homage.com. Check
Shirts
out
are fire.
Check out their great designs at Homage, HOMAGE.com. And make sure to hit the referral link in the description of the YouTube video. Hit that. It helps gives us revenue. If you buy something by clicking that link, they have sports, they have pop culture, they have TV shows, they have it all. So again, make sure to check them out at homage.com. And where the hell's the thing? Fat fingering everything. There we go.
Yo, hey, listen, man. It's been a couple weeks, man. We're a little rusty. Hope you guys understand it.
Appreciate the support. Appreciate the thumbs up.
Yo,
Adam chiming in. Vinny's was
you.
Awesome. Thank you again for coming out to our Super Bowl party.
Yo, shout out Adam.
Appreciate you having there, man. But look, then every show here on Birds, Beers, and BS.
Drink 'em if you got 'em.